Welcome to the Team Butterfly Effect All Hands call. It is Monday, July 27th. I think I got the date right. I'm always getting that wrong. Anyway, welcome to the team call. I'm so happy to start our week together, especially this week. I feel like after Summit and me traveling, and my birthday was in July, I feel like July has been craziness for me personally, and I'm finally landing, if that makes sense. Like I'm finally landing. I got home and settled in, and Heather and I were at Super Sunday this weekend, or Super Saturday, so I feel like my mind's finally starting to get on straight just a little bit. So I'm excited to be with you guys. I hope some of you were able to attend your local Super Sundays or Saturdays, and I hope that you got something out of it. We had a good turnout over in Fort Worth. And guys, just one thing, size came out. Have you tried it? Have you heard about it? Did you get your copy? This is the thing, guys. We're proof the product works. It's one of our vital behaviors. So it's all about speaking with integrity and with authenticity for when people ask you what things are all about and how things are. So if you want to be able to take advantage of this, I don't know, the hype that's going on, because they're going to be launching the infomercials after a while. I mean, when those infomercials hit, you want to actually have gone through the program, right? Because when those infomercials hit is when really the marketing starts taking off, when people know about it. Like, everybody knows what Insanity is. Everybody knows what P90X is. Everybody knows what those programs are because they're all over networks and infomercials. So it's really important that you know what's going on when those infomercials come out. Last part of news, don't forget that the Team Cup starts next week. So if you're on a cup, if you're on a Team Cup, if you are a team captain, you need to get your teams registered. If you are on a team, but maybe that team captain is not your personally sponsored coach, you need to make sure you get your email address to them, because they don't have access to your information anyway. Like, I have my personally sponsored coaches, your coach ID, your email address, all of that stuff in my back office. But if it's not your personally sponsored coach, you can't see it. So that's like seeing the faces that are on here. I don't know if Kristen's on it. Well, Kristen would be on Jill's team and she has that info, but like Heather, you need to get that info to Jill as well, because she doesn't have access to that. So that would be great. So guys, today I am calling our talk, how do you invest your time? Because ultimately, we all have the same amount of time in the day, and we're going to talk about how we invest it. Primarily speaking, let me just share with you, I will have a major point to this talk, but how I teach generally, especially in the classroom and in my yoga world, is through stories. I'm a firm believer that we're more alike than we are different, and so we can learn through each other's stories and through each other's experiences. So I'm going to share with you a little piece of my story that I don't know if all of you know, probably a lot of you don't know, and it's going to be about my learning experience as far as how I've invested my time, and maybe you can see yourself in my story. So let me take a quick drink of water. So I'm going to start out with something that I don't share with a lot of people, and I need to start sharing it, and that was, I got involved with Beachbody for all the wrong reasons. We always talk about your why. Why did you get started? Mine was for the wrong reasons. I'm going to be upfront and honest with you. And I attribute it to that being one of the main reasons why it's taken me longer to climb, like a lot of people, because my intentions weren't pure at the beginning. So as many of you know, I became a fitness professional in, gosh, it was 2003. I taught my first hip hop aerobics class at 24 Hour Fitness in Irving, Texas, off of Story Road, that one right there off Story Road on your way to Dallas. I taught hip hop on July 8th, 2003. And that was my very first class. And when Beachbody was introduced to me, it was about 5 years later, and I said no, right? And I was introduced by my best friend Amanda, and Amanda, the previous year, the year before that, Amanda had been my yoga student and my Zumba student for 2 years leading up to that. It's a small mom and pop gym that we were members of in Keller, Texas called Womax. And one day Amanda came to me and she said, I'm thinking about getting Zumba certified. How do you feel about that? And I said, well, as your best friend, I think it's a great idea because I think you're going to be amazing. But as your instructor, I think it sucks because you're never going to come to my classes anymore and I'm going to miss you. And so she went and she got certified in Zumba. And I helped her get her first job at 24 Hour Fitness. I got her in contact with my boss at the time, the coordinator at the time, Krista Mills. And Krista, being the good coordinator that she is, or that she was, she talked to Amanda about diversifying herself and making herself a more well-rounded instructor. And so Krista talked her into going to an upcoming PiYo certification that was coming up soon after that. Well, so Amanda had been taking yoga from me for 2 years, and so that she thought it would be a great way to get her more classes, which was totally legit and totally true. Smart move of hers. And in that training, she met Melissa McAllister. Melissa McAllister was her master trainer. Melissa McAllister is also now her upline Beachbody coach. And so after Amanda got certified, she, Melissa started doing what we all do, right? We meet people and we start those conversations to try to figure out if they would be a good suit for our team or for our business or a customer. And she ended up having a meeting with Amanda, and they had to sit down, and Amanda decided right then and there that she was going to dive in head first, starting her fitness career from the get-go as a Beachbody coach. Okay, so within that 1 year, so Amanda had first became a coach. She just became a fitness professional. And to be quite honest with you, I had a big ego. I had been teaching for 6 years, and this sounds bad, but when you've been doing something longer than somebody else, you think that you know more than they do. And so she dove in, and I really didn't. I had the network marketing scheme thing in my head, right? Because I had been a part of 2 other network marketing organizations, MLMs, before that, and I really got burnt. And so when she was starting that, it's kind of like, okay, good luck with that, and I don't know how that's going to turn out for you, but whatever. Well, so she asked me for a full year to become a coach. And I kept saying, no, 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 no. I just had Khalif. Khalif was little, and you know how it is nursing a new baby and having little kids. I just wasn't in the proper mindset. Well, something happened. And Amanda, in that first year, because she dove in so much so fast, she became a diamond in her first year, which was fantastic. Maybe it was 6 months. I'm not for sure. I think it was her first year because she didn't really work the business that much her first 6 months. She really spent time just learning it. And by the time a year had come around, she was making more money than me. I had been a fitness professional for 6 years, and my best friend, who'd been only a professional for 1 year, was like making twice as much money as I was, if not 4 times as much money as I was. And I was freaking jealous. I was jealous. I became a coach because I was jealous and pissed off that my friend, my peer, was making more money than me. It's true. It's true. I had this mantra in my head that you can't make money in fitness. And I was teaching probably 12 classes a week, was teaching 2 hours a day with 2 little kids. And I was exhausted. And I wasn't making very much money. I think I remember it was my goal. Literally, it was my goal to make $200 a week teaching. That was my goal. Right. And Amanda was making like $400 or $500 a week, something like that. And I remember I was so jealous. And I'll never forget these words coming out of my mouth when my parents hesitated and warned me against becoming a Beachbody coach because it was a network marketing scam and a scheme, right? My exact words were, well, it appears to be a gravy train for Amanda. So I'm going to jump on the gravy train while I can. Those were my exact words. Okay. So my intentions were were in the wrong place. I looked at this as a business decision that I am going to use because people are always asking me about fitness and nutrition and so on. And this is going to be an option for me to help people that was what I was saying, right? But it was really my way of monetizing off those people who were asking me questions because I was pissed off and jealous. So the beginning of my business moved extremely slow. Why? Eric Worre in the book GoPro talks about many people signing on to network marketing and MLMs because they're looking at it as a lottery ticket. Because that's what so many of them have been sold on. So many have been sold on that this is your get rich quick, right? And that's what I thought it was going to be, because that's what it was obviously being for Amanda, right? Wrong. The point being was Amanda was hungry. She'll share this story. She just claimed bankruptcy. She was in the middle of a divorce. She had 2 little kids at home that were counting on her, with a husband who had left her, who didn't make much money anyway, right? She was hungry, right? She was literally hungry. She was doing this work. It wasn't just, it was about the money for her, but it wasn't because she was looking to ride a gravy train or she was looking to make an easy buck. She was putting in more hours than I ever dreamed she was, because she needed to know how to put food on the table for kids. And those were the things I didn't see. Okay? I didn't see those things. So, right when I started out my business, because I was looking at this as a lottery ticket, that's the way I treated it, right? So when you buy a lottery ticket, you just hope that you're going to scratch it off and it's going to all of a sudden magically give you what you want out of it. And it's going to give you this big cash in. And that's not what this business is. When did it all change for me? It changed for me at my very first summit. It changed for me at my very first summit, primarily because one of our keynote speakers, I want to say it was Seth Godin, I'm not for sure, but he spoke of, he really spoke about, in every national tragedy or any national disaster, there's always a front line. So you think about 9/11, or you think about Hurricane Katrina or whatever, there's always a front line. It's usually some sort of military service or public servants, cops or firemen or whatever. And we're in the middle of an epidemic, an obesity epidemic. And there's no governmental organization, I don't know the word I'm looking for, no government sector that is worried about being the front line of the obesity epidemic. And that is what this speaker compared us to, is that we were the front line for the obesity epidemic. We are the one who are reaching out to one family at a time, helping them. I'm getting goosebumps just saying it, because I remember a switch flipping in my head at that time. Okay, so getting me, and I remember as soon as that was over, like, I went and I saw Amanda and I was just bawling. Thank you so much for introducing me to this opportunity. This is such a big deal. I'm sorry I wasted so much time at the beginning. Had this major breakthrough. So that's one of the reasons why we talk about live events and why they're so important. That's where the breakthroughs happen for a lot of people, at these live events where they pick up on the energy, the true energy of what the company is all about. And I remember at the beginning of my journey, because I was looking at Beachbody as being a lottery ticket or even a hobby. I was doing it so part-time, that I wasn't willing to invest any time that wasn't convenient for me. And there's a part of me who wants to use the word sacrifice, right? I wasn't willing to sacrifice any of my family time. But I no longer feel that my time spent with Beachbody is sacrificing anything anymore because of the switch that I've flipped. So many of us, I remember like wanting to go to a Super Saturday or a Super Sunday, and she was like, Amanda was messaging me. These were like in my first 2 years when I wasn't serious and when I was like a lottery ticket mentality. She would message me and ask me to be on phone calls, these calls. Like, she would ask me to be on team calls. She would message me about them. She would message me to attend the live events, the team socials, the shake and shares, the Super Saturdays. And I never went because my excuse was always X is more important, Z is more important, so on is more important. And at the time, I really thought they were. And I know for those of us with families and that we're parents and so on, I mean, our family time is crazy important, and even our friend time and so on is very important. But we have to always go back to our why and what are our intentions. And so when I made the switch in my head that this wasn't a lottery ticket anymore, my why shifted to be I was raised at a certain caliber of lifestyle. I was privileged, okay? I'm just going to be real here. I was a trust fund kid. I mean, I went to TCU and had a trust fund, and when I graduated from TCU, there was some money left. And so I came from a life of privilege. My husband did not. My husband's parents, they got pregnant at 15. His mom didn't graduate from high school. Jacob moved out of his parents' house when he was 17 and went right to work. Jacob has hit a glass ceiling in his career because of his life situation. And no matter that he provides for us, and I feel so grateful that I've been able to stay at home and do what I've done, the bottom line was I felt unsatisfied. I felt unsatisfied at the life that I was giving my children because it was nothing compared to the life that I was given. I had no hope and no faith of sending my children to college like I was given that gift. And I had no hope and no faith of being able to take my family on nice vacations. And like that level of lifestyle was out of my reach. At least so I thought. And so I switched my why. That I decided that although I realized this wasn't a lottery ticket, I realized those things, granted they were about money, but they were worth investing my time in those things. Was it worth investing my time that wasn't convenient to be able to provide those things for my family? So what I had to do is we sat down and we talked to my family as far as truly what I was doing. You know, this is a second job for me. It's a way for me to help people get better and feel great and use my things that I'm passionate about to help our family financially. And so then we really sat down and we talked about as a family of what this could mean for us. And for the first, like the top thing on my family's list was the travel. Like that's what we love to do. And so I set my sights on getting my family to Atlantis. That was the first Success Club trip that we went on. We've gone to Atlantis, we've gone to Disney World, we've gone to the Bahamas, and so on. And so I set my sights on that, and I promised my family that I would earn that for us. But in order to earn that for us, I was going to have to be taking some time away from them. But I wasn't also going to have to be taking my time away from them. I was going to have to start taking my time away from my friends. And for many of us as we're growing up, especially when we're in our 20s, because we go through so many changes from our teens to our 30s, right? And that the 20s are such a big change because we're literally going from, I mean, we think we're adults when we're 18, you know, and when we're 20, we think we are. But really through our 20s up until we hit 30 is when we really go through a deep maturation process. And I didn't want to give up my time with my friends, but then I had to sit and think. And this sounds horrible, okay? I guilted myself about this at first. But what was I getting out of those relationships? So I'm a big social person, right? Lots of friends. And have you ever sat back and looked at the time and the energy that you're putting into all these different groups of people? We have to invest time in our families, whether it be our immediate family in our home or whether it be our mom say we're not married and we don't have kids, and that's not what we strive to have. So we have to invest in our relationship with our parents, with our siblings, our cousins, that kind of thing. Yes. But what I want to ask you is, as you get older, have you truly contemplated all your friendships, all of them, where you spend your time? And when people say, you know, it's my birthday. I want you to come out for my birthday. And there's a super Saturday or there's something else going on that's Beachbody related. Did you get to do the next thing? And it really sounds like more fun to go and do that over there than to go be at a business meeting or whatever. It sounds like more fun. But what I want to know from you, are those the types of people that truly get you, who truly support everything you're doing? When you talk about your passions with all the people in your surroundings and in your circle, do they tune out? Do they think you're crazy? Or are they really interested and they really want the best for you? And they're going to rattle off and have great, deep, meaningful conversations, or maybe you to speak intellectually and the vibration is super high and you leave that time with that person so inspired and so full of life and so full of energy that, oh my gosh, you're just high on the good vibes. If it's that type of person, you need to maintain those relationships and those friendships. But if they're not, if when it's your birthday, they're not showing up and they're making excuses, or when you ask for a favor, they're not the first one to jump to help you, or maybe if they're the ones who you find yourself doing the not most productive behavior around, like maybe those are the people who you tend to just like get hammered with, and that's all you do because that's all you've ever done before, because that you went to college together, you went to high school together, and you were party friends, woohoo, because that's what you did in high school and college, and they were just so freaking fun to be around in college that you want to maintain that party vibe with them because you have just been friends with them for so long, and it would be horrible of me to cut off that relationship or stop investing there because we've just been friends for so long. But is that relationship making you better? That's what I want us all to start to contemplate. And I know we're almost out of time, and now I'm really getting to the meat right here. Is we all have the same amount of time in our day. Oprah has the same amount of time as you have in your day. Literally, no one has any more time. Oprah has built a network. Oprah has built an empire on the same 24 hours that you have. Granted, she doesn't have kids and she doesn't have those things, right? Okay. But the point of the matter is we all have to make decisions every day of how we spend our time. And we talked about priorities a couple weeks ago, right? So this is going back to that. Is how you're spending your time supporting your priorities, because you're probably not on this call live right now. You're probably not listening to this call recorded if you don't have some sort of a goal of you want some sort of financial freedom, whether that's debt-free, travel, being able to stay home with your kids, whether that's being able to give back. Maybe it's your intention to support a charity that you're super passionate about, and that's your way. That's going to be maybe that's your spiritual calling, and this is your way to support that mission and help you get to that goal. The bottom line is, people, and I made this in a post the other day, and that's the reason why I'm speaking about this today. You have to decide, are you a business person or are you a hobbyist? Because if you're a hobbyist, that's fine. You know, people who do hobbies, what do? They show up when it's convenient and when it sounds fun. But the hobbyists are not going to be the ones who make a significant impact in their goals if it has anything to do with finances. The ones who are going to make a significant impact in your overall bottom line. And I like I said, I hate using all the money talk because it makes it seem cold. But the bottom line is, guys, we have to have resources. We have to have resources. You are not going to be your best self, and I'm not going to be my best self if I'm constantly stressed about money. So how are you not going to be stressed about money? Is you got to figure out a way to make it. And maybe you have a full-time job, and this is just literally kind of a hobby for you. Okay? This is just kind of a hobby for you. And like, Aubrey, I am a hobbyist, but I love it and I show up. Well, that's awesome. My next question for you is do you love your job? The job that you're going to every day right now, do you get up in the morning so excited and full of joy that you get to go do that? And if your answer is yes, Aubrey, I'm so full of joy by my job. I love it so much. It fills me up and makes me so happy, and I can't wait to go. And I would be gladly to give up a weekend with my family to go do that. You know, I mean, then be a hobbyist with Beachbody. That's fine. That's fine. If this is literally just something for you to get your Shakeology paid for and maybe help a person here or there, that's fine, and that's your goal, and that's cool with that. But what I need for you to do is to be clear with your coach of truly what your intentions are. Because it is your coach's job to hold you accountable for the goals that you set. That's our job as coaches. If it's a physical goal, it's a monetary goal, whatever, it's our goals. So before your coach can do the best of their ability to help you hit your goals, you have to be clear about really what those goals are. Truly, what are your intentions here? Because if your intention is to be able to do something significant financially with this opportunity, then something has to give. Something has to give. If you're too busy to do your power hour every day, if you're too busy to send 2 invites a day, if you're too busy to show up for live events, then I need for you to stop and look. Truly, a business person always shows up and opens their doors for business, right? Otherwise, people aren't going to come back. So I want you to ask yourself, are you a business person who opens their door? Or are you a hobbyist? Or are you just a discount coach? If you're just a discount coach, you're probably not listening to this call anyway, so that's okay. Okay? So are you a hobbyist or are you a business owner and you're a business person? I want you to stop and be crystal clear about that. And I want you to seriously analyze how you're spending your time in all of your relationships and make a decision. Is it worth your time and your energy? Because I'm going to tell you this right now. I made a decision 2 years ago when I really decided to dive in. I have 3 friends who aren't Beachbody coaches. 3 that I've intentionally chosen. Now, do I really have more friends than that? Yes. I'm a social person. I have lots of friends. But when I talk about investing my time and my energy, when they call and they say, can we have dinner? Can you come out for my birthday? Can we go schedule off this time? I have 3 people who I say yes to that are not one of you. Why? Because I know I cannot be a good friend. I cannot be a good coach, a good support for this big, awesome organization that is a relationship business. Okay? We have to have relationships with each other. I cannot have relationships, deep, meaningful relationships with hundreds of people. So it's my choice because this is a relationship business. I need to make myself more available for the relationships that are helping me accomplish my dreams. So the reason why I say no to a birthday party, to happy hour, to whatever with someone who does not fall into one of those 3, it's because I'm making space for you. Literally, I'm making space for you. So think about that. Are you creating the space to build a team? Because if you don't create the space for it first, they're never going to show up. They're never going to show up. And I know that you want to be the best coach that you can be. So therefore, I hope you make the decision today to become a business owner, because when you become a business owner is when you're truly going to hit all your goals. So I love you guys. I hope you have a fantastic week. kill it this week. The month is not over yet. You have about 3 days left to hit Success Club if you haven't hit it already yet. Shout out to, I think Jill Leptoski told me that Kristen just hit Success Club for like the first time. So shout out for Kristen for that. That's like super, super cool. Way to go, girlfriend. Ow! And the rest of you guys, I will see you on the call a week from tonight, next Monday. Have a great one.